All right, what's up? So today I wanted to talk to you guys about. I know I'm sitting at the computer again, and that's what I do, but I got a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. And the one main thing was riding formation, motorcycle riding formations. Now, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of videos on YouTube, and only one from MC Rider did I see where he said the front rider should be on the left-hand side. Now, let me explain to you why that's the optimal spot for the rider in the front. I ride with people all the time. I was riding with a friend of mine, and he was like, "Which side do you want?" And I was like, "If I'm in the front, I'm going to be on the left. If I'm behind, I'm going to be the next one back." You know, if there's only two of us riding, the person in front should always be on the left. If there's three riding, the person in front should be on the left. I'm going to explain why right now. You should be on the front left when you're riding the bike in formation with the group ride, is because you want the driver of the car in front. There's not a car, say there's not a car here. That's fine, it doesn't really matter. But once there's a car there in the front, you should be trying to get the car, always you want the car to see you, right? So the most visible spot for your motorcycle isn't in the center, because then they can't see you through the rearview mirror if you're too close. If they slow down and you happen to close this gap a little bit, they can't see you. You're in their blind spot. They can only see you through the rearview mirror. If you're on the right hand side, this guy over here, if this bike was here, then they could see you through the rear view mirror, but you look like you're off at a distance. And then the side mirror on the other side, this is for American drivers. In Europe, the cars are on the other side. So in Europe, it's the opposite. In Europe, if the car is here and it's going and the other traffic's going that way, then you want to be on this side, because the driver's on this side looking to his right out the side mirror. So we're talking about America right-hand drive. The most visible spot for any motorcycle when looking for a car, when I'm riding a motorcycle, when I'm riding and I want that car to see me, I'm going to be in this area on the left-hand side, in the center, just to the left of center. You don't want to be in the dead center, because that's the oil spot. If it starts to sprinkle or rain, anything being dumped on the road is going to be in that spot. So you want to be in that tire track. Actually, this bike could have been over to the left just a little bit more, over to the right rather, just a little bit more. But just for argument's sake, if the bike is right here, right? If the bike is here, this driver who's sitting right here, his head is here, his or her, looks through that mirror and sees the bike, and looks through the rearview mirror and sees the bike. And the distance from there to the bike is not that great. From the mirror to the bike, you look over, you can see that headlight. Now, if this bike was here and the next rider was there, it's much farther from the side mirror to this bike. So it looks like the bikes are way off in the distance. He doesn't know, he or she might not know that there's a bike right here in this area. So he might be a little bit less conscious, or less conscious of the rider. And it's hard to judge the distance of a motorcycle and the speed of a motorcycle. Everybody knows that. So if this bike is here and it's looking like 3 car lengths away, he has no idea how fast you're going or anything. He can't tell. If to him that one little headlight that far away looks like it's friggin' 3 miles back. For the most visibility, the object is always to be the most visible. So to be the most visible, you need to be in this area right here. When you're riding, you need to be just left of center. That way he has 2 ways to see you. One through this side mirror, which is not larger than they appear, whatever. It's a regular mirror, right? And one's through the back, through the rear view mirror. He can see you in both mirrors. You should be making eye contact with that driver. You should be looking. When you're riding, you should be looking and seeing if you can see their face through this side mirror. You should be riding and glance up and say, well, can I see them? Yes, I can. So if I can see them, they can see me. You should be looking at those things because you're driving. You're like, how many times you ride and you look beside you to make sure that the car beside you, if you're passing, say you're in this lane, say it's a double, all the lanes of traffic are going in this direction. When you're over here and you're passing, I look over to make sure that this guy sees me. I like to get recognition that this person has seen me, even if they just glance over for a second. Like, oh, okay, there's a bike there. Oh, there's a bike there. I want them to look over, oh, there's a motorcycle there. And then we've seen each other, we made eye contact, so they're not less likely to just whip over into the lane because there's a motorcycle beside me. So that's the reason why you ride in the left-hand lane in formation. And formation should always be left hand first, then right, then left, then right, just like this picture. This is how, and what it's showing here is the speed. Like if you're going real slow, if you're going 45 miles an hour or less, 2 seconds apart, that's no big deal. Once you get over 45, 50 miles an hour, 60, you should be further apart between motorcycles, and that makes sense. You want more gap between you and the next rider. Also, it's against the law to share a lane in most states in America, and that means it's against the law for this motorcycle to be right beside this guy going down the highway, going down the road. You guys can't be side by side. Number one, it's dangerous. You don't know if this guy has to swerve for something and hit you. You don't know. Something comes up in the road. The whole benefit to having a motorcycle is being able to have this entire road to move around in, right? There's a pothole, there's something in the road. Oh, I can swerve over and get move away from it. A car you can't move away as much without going into the other lane. So you can only swerve a little bit in a car, but on a motorcycle you can swerve all the way over and miss that pothole in the road, or that animal that ran out into the road real quick. But if you're side by side, you can't. So anyway, this is I don't want to get into too much of the stuff, but this is a little breakdown of rider formation and the reason why you ride. Believe me, I've been riding for 30 years, right? Yeah, something like that. I started riding when I was 18, I think. 17. 50, I'm 53 now. Yeah, about 30 years. Anyway, so this is, you learn these things as you go along, and I've been with groups of riders that didn't know how to do this, or they just formed whatever direction. And the guy on the front should always be on the left. When you go into a straight line, they change in a straight line formation around curves and stuff like that. You just move over and all take the same line. But once you get back into the straightaway, boom, you go back into formation. That's how you're supposed to do. When he gets over, you get over. That guy gets over, that guy gets that. You all get over. But you ride for you also. So you ride. You don't just follow this guy. You don't just follow the bike. Watch the road ahead. Watch the thing ahead. Ride for you. If he passes this car, you might not be able to pass this car fast enough. This has already been gone over a bunch of times. But what I didn't see gone over on the internet is what I'm saying right now about rider formation and the bike being on the left-hand side in the front. That should be the rule, because the car can see you better on the left-hand side in the front. The chances of him slamming on his brakes, he might feel more confident that he's got more room, and he might not put on his blinker as soon, or think he might not think, oh, there's a bike right behind me, I better not put my brakes on too hard, but if you're here where he can see you, there's a bike behind me, I see that guy, let me slow down and make this turn. There's a guy right behind me. If he thinks you're way back here, he might just go, oh, last minute, boom, let me just turn real quick, slam on my brakes, and now you're slamming into the back of the car. I'm just saying. Anyway, you guys let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you guys ride like this? Or do you not care about rider formation? My buddy, another friend of mine that I rode with the other day, we were talking, and he goes, I said, we always ride in formation. He goes, oh, nobody ever does that. I'm like, yeah, they do. He goes, I said, it's against the law to ride side by side. He goes, no, it's not. I said, yes, it is. He goes, well, the cops do it. I said, well, they're breaking the law. If the cops are riding side by side in one lane, now at a stop sign you pull up. When you stop, you can pull up beside it. But you're not supposed to be riding in the lane. That vehicle This is their lane. When you pull up in here, you're sharing a lane with the other rider. It's against the law. You can't share a lane. But not only is it against the law, it's dangerous. There's a reason why it's against the law. It's because it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be riding side by side. You're going below 10 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles an hour. That's no big deal. I'm talking about going down the highway. When you're going, 60, you're going 50. You're not supposed to pull into this space beside the motorcycle. You're both not supposed to be side by side. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down. If you think I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. Tell me. Say, hey, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. You can ride in whatever formation. That doesn't really matter. Whatever. Let me know in the comments below. Talk to you later, YouTube. I'm out.